Hilchos Zechiyah uMattanah, Chapter 10. Shrimirah Amar Tenu Mana Lepleni Umes. When a Shrimirah says, give him mana to so and so, the mana should be given after Itnu La'achar Misa. The money should be given after the Shrimirah dies. Shediv V'rei Shrimirah Kiksuvin Okemesurin Dami. As we explained yesterday, that the words of a shrimina are considered as if they have been recorded in a legal document, and that the property concerned has already been transferred. We do not expect that the shrimina was referring to a buried mana. The shrimina says, I have loaned money, or entrusted an object to so-and-so, give it this to so-and-so, and this person, his words are binding, and a maimer shloshta is not required. If Shrimina says, give so-and-so this particular note, this document, the recipient acquires the debt mentioned in the note, as if the Shrimina wrote the transfer of the note and gave it to the intended recipient, even though the note was not actually transferred. The Yiddish, the heir, does not have the right to waive payment of the note that was given as a matla shrimera. So why is when a person sells or gives a note to a friend, the Yiddish waives payment? The waiver is binding while the Shrimina apportions the note, and the Matna Shrimina, the Yiddish cannot waive payment. Bishakin or Ra'ayu B'shtarmin Devreim. Fikach Yiddish at Dainas Ashtar Shalei Harum Natirem Meichli. Matna Shrimina Afabishim Devreim also Isaac Yishaltera. Kilokana Lomish B'shtarmin Natir Begia the other than Rish of the Yiddish Breaking. Lofikach Meichel. As far as like this, a transfer of the note, that's abundant. Therefore, according to Midiraisa, the note still belongs to the Yiddish. So the waiver is of consequence. The transfer of a gift given by a Shrimah is also abundant. Nevertheless, the Chacham reinforced the decision and conveyed upon it the power of Midiraisa. So if the recipient acquires, the money mentioned in the note, according to Midiraisa, and the money has already left his possessions. So the Yerush no longer possesses any right, therefore it cannot waive payments. Now, when a Shrimina says, there's a money belonging to so-and-so in my possession, if he says give it to him, it should be given to him. If he does not make such a statement, it should not be given to him. We suspect that perhaps he made the original statement only so that it would not be said that his Yerushim are wealthy. Therefore, if Shrimina made the statement as a sincere acknowledgement and there was no suspicion, the money should be given to the person mentioned, even though the Shrimina did not explicitly say that it should be given to him. So if the witness observes the father hiding money in a drawer, chest or a tower, and he says they belong to so they are Meiser Sheni. If it appears that he's conveying his desires for the use of the money, his words is upheld. If it appears that he is being deceptive, his statements are of no consequences. So if a person came and told us, I saw your father hide money in a drawer, chest, or a tower, and he says, belongs to so and so, it's Meiser. If the money is hidden in the son's house, his statements are of no consequences. If it's in the field, his word should be held. So this is the general principle, though whenever the witness could have taken the money, if he had wanted to, his words are upheld. If he could not have, his statements are of no consequences. If a person Zechiyah uMattanah. A mice occurred where a person was upset because of money that he knew that his father had left him, but he did not know where his father had hid him. He was told in a dream there was so much money. They're in this place, and they belong to so and so. But they are mice sheni. He found the exact sum of money in that place that was told to him. The question was brought before the Chacham, and they said the words of the dreams neither avail nor impair. When the Shema acknowledged that he owes so and so money, and afterwards the orphan says, at a later date, their father told us that he paid the chayib. The word is accepted. They must, however, make a tikkun from assessors to confirm their claim. That's our tenu v'amri sim chazor alalav and paraidu ein neman. If, however, the Shema says give the money to sell his own, making the acknowledgement, the statement cannot be retracted. Even if the orphan stayed, at a later date, their father told us that he paid the chayib. The word is not accepted. Amr planning biyadi. Or we say nesa'anu ein neman. If the Shema says I owe so a money, and after his death the Yershim say we gave it to him, they're not believers. Omar tenu Zechiyah uMattanah. Shema did not say give it. How would they know that they were obligated to give it? Aleph. Amar tenu v'amri yisem nesa'anu ne'amanu mishbani shvusesah shenasto. If the dying man says give so and so the money owed to him, and the Yershim planning to pay the chayiv, the Yershim are believed they must overtake shvusesah. If the Shema shenasa malach v'malach Manazela plainly valach with social base and kaim ayah b'shashin us in the Shema. In us the Yershim mission is dark life. The Shema some him. And lo ayah kaim yasel Yershim shalesh in klumis. When the Shema gives him money to a third party, tells him, bring this money to so and so. The third party goes to the designated recipient, but finds that he had died. If the recipient was alive at the time the Shema gave the money, the third party should give him the Yershim or the intended recipient. As far as that the words of a Shema are considered as if they have been recorded in the legal document and the object concerned already transferred. If the intended recipient was not alive at the time, third party should return the money to the Yershim of the principal for the person who cannot acquire property. Yud Gimel Shema Hashem Rekim Wasayim which is the penny Shleish Me'esus the penny Rambam Me'esus the penny Ein Makedim B'Shdar Zachah. But Shema says give 200 zis to so and so, 300 zis to so and so, 400 zis to so and so. We do not say the first mention in the legal record of the statement receives the portion. Therefore, so again, we don't say the first mention in the legal document receives the portion first. Instead, his estate does not contain, if the estate does not contain 9 juzuz, it's divided proportionately. If there's a tarchiv issued against the estate, the creditor takes from all the recipients proportionally. If the chayiv was 450 zuz, the person granted 200 zuz, 200 gives 100, the person granted 300 gives 150, the person granted 400 gives 200. However, it's new Masai Sus, the penny Achar of Flish Mace, the penny Mapper of Arbor Mace, the penny Kolel B'Shtar Zachah. If over the Shema says give 200 zuz to so and so, afterwards give 300 zuz to so and so, and then 400 zuz to so and so, whoever is mentioned first in the legal record is granted priority. We get to those Tarchiv give an Achar, and they gave a Fulham, and they gave a Mishnah Father. Therefore, if a note against the estate is brought up, the creditor should take the money from the last recipient. If his holdings are not sufficient to satisfy the chayiv, the creditor should take the money from the one mentioned before him. If his holdings are also not sufficient, the creditor should take the money from the one mentioned above for the second recipient. Last halacha, Shechina Shamar Yodu Planim B'Bayizeh. The Shechina says, let so live in this house. Yeinchel Planim Peres Dekel. Let so partake of the fruits of the palm tree. Its words means nothing. And not transfer an object of sustenance. Living and eating out like speech and sleepers cannot be transferred. However, it's new buys a little planning this year, other bad man planning, it's new deck a little planning this year, but it's of the one of Kayam. If, however, the Shemana says, give the house to so and so that he may live in it, or give so and so this tree to partake of its fruit, the statements are effective. As far as it is that he transferred the entity itself mentioned in the gift, with the intent of benefit be derived by goof. The entity is a subject of substance. Shchiv Meira, chapter Yud Aleph. This parak contains 24 halachas. Halacha Aleph. Shchiv Meira says this property of mine should be given to Banai. His daughters are not included amongst the recipients. Haile ben echad abas, ben ben aben, al bishu omar lebanai, shuloshin rabim, and istam lebnei. Now, even when the descendants of the Shemina include only one son and a daughter, or a son and the son of another son, and he uses the expression banai, which is a plural term, the estate should be given only to the son alone. One son can be referred to as my sons. Base. Shri Menashe uMattanah says my property should be given to Zechiyah, and he dies. And a person named Zechiyah comes and says, and claims the estate, Nathan should be given to him. If however established that the guy is referring to as Rav Zechiyah, so then you don't give it to him. Now, should the Shema be familiar with the claim, and first name basis, the state should be given to, although in generally is referred to staff Tibia. Two claims come, and it's established that they're both called Tibia. There's no Talmud Chacham, one of them is either a Shachan or a Karev. He comes first, the neighbor goes first. What if the say we ask the judges act on their own assessment of the circumstances? The state should be given to the claim whom they think the deceased intended. Similar principles apply to our several intended recipients. Shemina says my property should be given to so-and-so, to so-and-so, to so-and-so. The intended recipient should divide the estate equally. This applies even 100 people are mentioned. Hey, my property should be given to so-and-so, to my sons. The estate should be divided between them. Maisa occurred concerning a person that told his wife, my property should be given to you and your sons. The Chacham said she should receive half the estate, and all the sons should divide the other half. So if Shimon says my property should be given to so-and-so, 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 sons of so-and-so, the sons of so-and-so receive half the estate, and the other two people mentioned receive the other half. Shemina says so-and-so should receive a portion of my property, should receive half. And he says, give a portion of my property to so-and-so, you should be given 1/16. Those would think they should be given 1/4 of the estate. Shemina says, give so-and-so a portion of the wine that I possess. Person name should be given 1/4 of the wine. He says, give him a portion of wine to pour into jugs. He has diminished the person's share, and he should be given only 1/8 of the wine. If he says, give him a portion of wine for cooking, the person name should be given 1/12 of the wine. If he says, give him a portion of wine for a small cup, person name should be given 1/16 of the wine. If you reveal that the kavanah was to give him merely a small portion. Test when giving do not extrapolate from the measures mentioned here with regards to other halachas. That my wife receive a portion like the other sons, she should be given a portion size of that given to each of the sons. If sons are born to the deceased after he made his deposition of his property, they are added to the sons who existed at the time the will was made, and she receives a portion equal to that given to each of them. The had 3 sons at the time he made the will, and 2 more sons were born to him afterwards. He should receive a portion equal to that of the given of the 5 sons, 1/6 of the estate. The widow receives a portion only from the property that the deceased owned at the time that he made the will. If as property that comes afterwards, she doesn't receive a portion of any property that he acquires after the will was made, and as far as that a person cannot transfer ownership of an entity that is not in his possession. Shimon says, so should receive the movable property that I own. Person name should receive the personal utensils. Not wheat, barley. He says, takes everything. Servants are included in the category of metalton avalei. The chaim technique is when not lower Muslims. The carcafer is attached to the ground. Without Amar call him metaltel. A person says everything that he carried. Netal after chaim technique is when the kavana is a recipient acquires even the lower millstone. That's about Shimon Hashem and the Chassid plenty. Shimon says, give my property to Dylan. So Netal on top of the Chalkavars for Efes. Person receives all the movable property, the landed property, the garments, the servants, and the livestock. Tefillin and other sacred texts, for these are all considered property. I will say for Tedish, usually, the Sefer is a suffix if it's considered to be a property, therefore the recipient takes possession should not be taken away. Shimon Hashem Martinu Masayim Zuz Plenty Bechiri Karoli. When the Shimon says, give 200 zuz to someone, so my firstborn as appropriate for him, should be given that sum as well as his portion of the firstborn. In the bus situation, the Shimon says, give him 200 zuz as his firstborn portion, then firstborn is given the option. He may take his firstborn portion and may take 200 zuz. Because for Chedim over 2 Muslims is plenty Ishti, Karola, Netalton, Netelas Ksubasa. If the Shimon says, give 200 zuz to my wife, so and so, and as is fitting for her, she receives a sum of the money due to her Ksuba. If he said, give her 200 zuz for Ksuba, the option is hers. It says, over 2 Muslims is plenty Bachivi, Karola Netelas Chivi. Shimon said, give 200 zuz to so my credit is fitting for him. He receives the sum of the money due to him because of the debt. If he says, give him 200 zuz for the debt, he may collect all of his debt. Shimon says, give 400 zuz to so and let him marry my daughter. This if he gave him 2 gifts, whichever he desires, he may take. Therefore, if he desires to take the money but not marry the daughter, he may do so. However, the Shimon says, let him take my daughter and give him 400 zuz. He's making the gift conditional, and he cannot acquire the gift unless he marries the daughter. If Shimon said, give 400 zuz to my daughter as for ksuba, or for ksuba. If it's the custom of the people to add the appraisal of the dowry at the rate of money's worth of 200 zuz, the daughter should be given only 200 zuz. The Shimon did not say 400 zuz without any modifier, rather 400 zuz as for ksuba. As it says, if he said, give her what is necessary so that her ksuba will be appraised for 400 zuz. Chav Beis. Shimon says, give such and such clothing and such articles to my daughter for her dowry. Who's the begodim akelim achakein? And the price of the garments of the articles decreased afterwards. Yarshim profit, and they are required to give her only what she promised according to the last price. Similarly, if Shimon said, give my daughter the 400 zuz, the money for the wine, and the price of the wine increases, the Yarshim profit, the daughter is given only 400 zuz. What's the story concerning a person who was being let off in chains? He said, let the fetters. He said, go give so 400 zuz from the wine, and this place. The Chum said he should receive 400 zuz, the price of that wine. The condemned man did not intend to give the person named an amount of wine equal to 400 zuz. He intended to give him a monetary amount, specify the place for which he could collect the money to strengthen the legal power of the recipient. Otherwise, concerning a man who said, give my daughter the date palm, but he left only half of the date palm. The Chum said she should receive 2 halves of the date palm, for that is the intent. He called them the date palm. Third story, plenty bias, another story occurred concerning a person who said, give so-and-so a building that contains 200 camels. Discovered that the building owned by the person or portion of the property can contain hundreds of camels. Chum requires asked because it appears that this was the intent. Everyone who gives a gift gives generously. Shekel Ella Sela Shabbos the Islam called circle Shliniskamlas al Harvest Pano Al Zars Ism Shabi Abicho with Yismi Day. Shema says, give my sons a shekel each week. Or even if you say do not give them anything but a shekel each week, and discover that a Sela a week is necessary to meet their needs, I give them whatever they need. We assume that his intent was not to starve his children, but to encourage them not to live on a very lavish budget. Last halacha of the Shema Al Tispidu and safely. When Shemina says, do not eulogize me, he should not be eulogized. Atikbidu when the chassid did not use funds for my estate to bury him, then in the Shemina Shachas a moment, Balavi Appa Atzbal Tzibur. We did not enable him to secure the funds of his children and make himself a burden on the community. It's forbidden to leave him without being buried. We compel Yerushim to bury him and the funds in the estate. Zechiyah uMattanah, chapter 12, is the last Perek in Hilchos Zechiyah in the Hilchos Zechiyah uMattanah, and it contains 17 halachas. Halacha Aleph: Shema Nashar B'ni Pleni Yi Yerosheni as a year Shis Levadu LeYershu Sharbanu. Hanamor El Abbas Ben Abanis Oyach Ben Aachin Ashar Yeshon Dvarak Yamu. When Shema says, my son so and so should inherit my estate, the son alone should inherit the estate, and that the man's other sons, not the man's other sons. If he makes such a statement about one daughter with regards to other daughters, one brother with regard to the other brothers, or similar with regard to other Yerushim's words are binding. About a buddy with regards to a healthy person, his words are of no consequence. Shemina states, my property should be given to so and so, and after him to so and so. The second person receives only of the first leaves. However, the first person was fit to inherit the estate of the Shemina. It was one of the sons. The second person does not receive anything. Expression used as a gift, as a yerush, is considered as if you're given as an inheritance. Yerush never ends. This applies even though the giver said after him it should be given to so and so. Hey, Abu Bari Shnasavat burial that is that. Costal Zena Chasad Acho Acharach Planning in the Shin in the Masha Shadishan, I Shadishan, Rollishan. If ever a healthy person gave a person in this manner and he had a deep composed saying my property should be given to you, after to you and you, second person receives only what the first person leaves. This applies whether or not the first person was fit to inherit the estate of the giver. Above. Shkimna Sham Khasad the Khabakhat Pediba addition of the Yeshua, a pay for only Mishumidush and this the Khosh in the Hafsing, a thought of Arab Sikito. There's an exception that the principle stated above with regard to Shkimna says my property should be given to you, afterwards to you. The first recipient is fit to inherit the giver's estate. Shini Mashram shared edition. So, if the giver says, I'm giving you the property as inheritance, never ceases, but as a gift that I have set limit, now the second person acquires what the first leaves with. The fikichavon. The giver entrusted the money to a third person, or he said, give my sons a shekel every week. I'm not giving them the money as inheritance. Afterwards, what remains, the estate after the death should be given to so and so. They should be given only a shekel a week, even though it's not sufficed them. The chassid the plenty, machal the plenty. If the shimon says my property should be given to so and so, then afterwards he said so and so. First person names dies, the property is acquired to the second. Second person named also dies. Property is given to the Yersh with the second person. For the second person dies during the lifetime of the first, and the first dies before the Shkima, the property should be given to the Yersh of the first. Even though the second person named receives only what the first leaves over, it's forbidden for the first person to sell give as a gift the body of the property that has been given. He's entitled to recoup the benefits of the property until he dies, at which time the second person acquires the property. However, the first person transgresses and sells or gives it as a gift the property. Second person cannot take the property from the recipient. Second person does not have any right for the body of the property or the benefits from it, only what remains after the first person dies. Any person who advises the first person named to sell the property is called a Russia. Even if the state contains servants and the first person granted them the freedom or garments he made them, transfer corpses, these are binding. The first person sold or gave it as a gift, the property to the outside party. However, the first person sold or gave them as a gift to another year, these are no consequence. So now, if the property is a gift to Shkimah, to that surprise, this means nothing. So far as the recipient of a gift given by a Shkimah is not acquired until after the Shkimah dies. When the first recipient dies, the property has already been acquired by a second person named by the original giver. Based on the if the first recipient owns a debt or must pay his wife the money due to her virtual ksuba, the basis seeks to collect the debt from the property, even if the first recipient is still alive. The basis does not collect the debt from the body of the property itself, instead of only the proceeds from it will evaluate. When a Rishan of Baal Chav to which in Chas in Megabin and Pluma for the Salpetic, she had the leash takes and given the Chasmed from Allah Harahin Shashini. If the first person dies and the creditor of the wife seeks to take the property, nothing is given. Supplies even when he made them Petik or designated them for his wife, so that she should collect the money due to her virtue Ksuba for them. Nothing is taken by the property because it belongs to the second person. If she when Hashem the Isha plan Chasid Lach Vacharayich plan Bond of Nisas Paul the Kech who be innocent with Timmy the Bal. The Amr Law she in a sin of Chasid Lach plan as she made Timmy the Bal. She came to Zach some the Chasam uMattanah Zech she in a suit and Nimsak Ilu. However, the fish Acharayich Eklum plan the Bal figure and Mach and the Chasam and she taxes Bailo Mesa Bailo. Yamd the Chasab Biara the Kech meets a Bal Meda the Kech. Inflation Machrak Shinasur, I should have made some Yada Balba, the Kir Chazer, or made see Miyad Shin, Shari Love, and the El Mash edition. And Beflash the Mishates and Mamma, the figure Tam, the Maisbech. Okay, so now it's to translate. When a Shrimana says to an unmarried woman, my property should be given to you after you, so and so, and when the woman marries, her husband is considered to be a purchaser, second person may not take away the property from him. If the woman are already married, the Shrimana said, and after you, so and so, the second person can take the property from the husband. So it is that since she acquired the property on the condition that she was married, says the Shemina told her explicitly, after you did so will acquire the property, not your husband. Therefore, if she sold the property while she was married to her husband, and died while married to her husband, the property should remain in the possession of the purchaser. For if the purchaser took the property from the purchaser because of his wife, sold it while she was married, the second person mentioned by the original giver may take the property for her husband, and the man who purchased it from the woman may take it from the second person. If she sold the property at the end, the second person is entitled only to a property the woman left over. The cycle should continue. Nevertheless, since the only one who spent the money for the property is the purchaser, the property is allowed to remain in its possession. Now, if the story that occurred with regard to the person who said, my property given to my mother, and after to my Yershim. He had married the daughter died during the husband's lifetime, also in the lifetime of her father's mother. After she died, the elder woman also died. Chum said the daughter's husband does not inherit the property, for it was only fitting for his wife to inherit, and she did not actually have a right to acquire the property until she died. If the daughter had left a son or daughter, they would have inherited the estate. For the expression inherits used by the deceased includes the Yershim. And if the dying man had said when the elder woman dies, this estate becomes my daughter's retroactively to the present time, the daughter's husband would inherit after the wife's death. When a person has a legal record composed giving property to his son after his death, the body of the property becomes the son's from the lifetime that the legal record is composed. The benefit for the property is retained by the father until he dies. Currently, the father cannot sell this property because it has already been given to the son. The son cannot sell it because it's under the father's control. If the father dies and there's produce attached to the ground of the property belongs to the son, because a person feels a closeness to the son. Produce has already become detached or is ready to be harvested, it belongs to the Yershim. Father transgresses and sells the property and sells the binding, his binding until he dies. When he dies, the son takes the property from the purchaser. There was produce attached to the property, it should be evaluated in price to the purchaser, and the son must pay for it. If the produce was detached already, it has been harvested, it belongs to the purchaser. If the son transgresses, sells the property, the purchaser does not receive anything until the father dies. If the son sold the property during the father's lifetime, the son died, and the father dies, the purchaser takes possession of the property when the father dies. The sale of the property by the son is not nullified, because the father possesses only the right to benefit from the property, and possession of the right to benefit from a property is not the same as possessing of the property itself. When the deed recorded a gift and given by a healthy person, states that a gift takes effect from today and after the person's death, it's considered to be a gift given by the Shemina. It's mashma that although he acquires the body of the property from the day of the gift, he may not take possession of it, but take of the fruit until the giver's death. Zechiyah regards to a deed recording a gift, which states that so-and-so should acquire a particular field after the death of the giver. Whether or not the legal document records a kinyan, since it mentions a date and the giver was alive with that date, it indicates that he transfers ownership of the property in the lifetime. The recipient may not take possession of it until after the giver's death. This is certainly the intent, for if the giver's intent had been to transfer property with his document after the death, he would not have dated it. Therefore, even though the document does not state that the gift takes effect from today and after the person's death, the recipient acquires the property after the giver's death. The reason what we write from the present time in the legal document, although it's dated, is to clarify the matter, even though it's not necessary. Tes Zayin, Zechiyah uMattanah v'Kosov b'Shtar Mechaim v'Zechiyah uMattanah Gemur Mechaim Shari Kosov b'Mechaim Zechiyah uMattanah K'Mishavar Ma'atav Adilim K'Mei Nuya Hashtar Uzeh. When a healthy person gives a gift and writes in the deed, during my lifetime and in my death, it's completely a binding gift, taking effect during the person's lifetime. Because he said during my lifetime. The fact that he says in my death is as if he said from now until eternity. It's an embellishment of the document. Last halacha. Hatzadikim hagmurim anshi ma'isa lo yikav matanim ba'idnu. Tzadikim gmurim and anshi ma'isa should not receive gifts from other men. Ela boitchem Hashem baruch shmei lebenetivim. Instead, they would trust in Hashem. Righteous men will not take gifts. Instead, they would trust in Hashem and not generous men. It says, one who hates gifts will live. Lest be Hashem will grant assistance.